Growing up, one of my favorite activities to do was drive around with my grandma. We would go down Main Street to the historic district of my hometown and check out the large, stately, opulent homes. They all had one thing in common: stained glass. I always thought that learning stained glass would be difficult. I received a gift certificate to a local stained glass store and learned that it is not as daunting as you would think. My name is Samantha Charbonneau, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of stained glass, where in the community you can take classes, and why I chose the copper foiling method. Throughout the years, I have collected different stained glass pieces from lamps to candle holders and even hair clips, and always thought about the history of stained glass. Turns out that stained glass art has been around for over 2,000 years. According to Egypt's Heritage Review, trinkets and adornments have been found by archaeologists. One of the most well-known examples is King Tutankhamun's funerary mask, which has a glass scarab in the center of the chest. According to the British Museum, the oldest example of stained glass is at a church called St. Paul's in Jarrow. Churches and monasteries used to use stained glass as, quote, an analogy for the divine attributed to Christ, saying, I am the light of the world. One of the best church examples of stained glass is at the Chartres Church in France. According to the World History Encyclopedia, the panels were used to depict stories of the Bible for those that could not read. If these works of art inspire you to want to learn stained glass, there are many options in your community. Social media is an excellent place to learn stained glass. On YouTube, you can find several tutorials on different supplies that you would need and different techniques. I personally love to have YouTube available for when I'm trying to troubleshoot a piece that I'm having a hard time getting to go correctly or need to fix something I made a mistake on. TikTok and Instagram have different artists that post on there their artwork. It's great for ideas and seeing different techniques that they also use. On Facebook, you can find community groups to discuss stained glass and show off different wares, and also to find classes. As far as colleges go, NC State in our area does offer some beginning stained glass classes. I chose to do my class at Carolina Stained Glass in Durham, North Carolina. They teach several different techniques, and I chose the copper foiling method. The copper foiling method is an excellent option for beginners and for those that want to do smaller pieces. You go through the same steps as far as templates and picking out stained glass and cutting the glass. The difference is how you put it together. For the copper foil, you wrap the tape around the edge of the pieces of glass and fold it over to the front and back side, creating a space for the solder to hold the pieces together. Using the copper foil technique, it allows you to use varying gaps in your artwork, and it helps to add different texture to the pieces that you are making. In closing, while copper foil technique is my preferred method, there are also classes on using leaded came and for making mosaics with mortar. As you've heard, there are several different ways to learn the history, whether it be Facebook groups, doing some research on your own, or doing a little adventure travel and checking out different churches in your area. You can find different classes online or at colleges, or just by reaching out to different community groups in your area. Different people have resources to history and creations that you may find inspiring. This last snow event, on my family thread, we all sent each other pictures of the snow outside of our windows. And I realized that everybody's pictures had pieces of my stained glass in them. And I got to thinking, I really hope that someone drives by those houses and sees those pieces of stained glass and are inspired, like I was, looking at those large houses with that beautiful stained glass and want to learn how to create something new. Thank you.